السلام عليكم، كيف حالكم؟ إن شاء الله تكونوا بخير. Hi everyone, good afternoon. The lecture today or the workshop will be in English, but for Arabic speaking people, you can ask questions. If you go to your, in the Zoom here, there is an option Q&A. You can send me your questions there. Any questions you have, any doubts, you can just send me, and we'll be taking breaks to answer these questions. Okay. MashaAllah, we have 67 people attending. I hope that you enjoy this workshop. It's practical. It will give you some practical strategies. We're going to talk about ABA. We're going to talk about function of behaviors, what is ABC data, and how you collect ABC data. There will be lots of videos for you to see and to practice. And there will be also lots of strategies for practitioners, for educators, shadow teachers, and parents to use. Okay? And then at the end of this lecture, we will do a quiz. It's only 10 questions. I will want you to answer the quiz. And after that, also, I would like you to answer a short survey. The whole session will take around 2 hours, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah. So we're going to talk about ABA, and these are the things that we're going to talk about, as I mentioned in the agenda. This lecture is done under the name of Usrati for Physio and Rehab. It's a center that I work at. It's in Ittihad Mall in Dubai. And we're doing this to spread awareness about autism, about ABA, how we can use ABA strategies to increase good behaviors and to decrease inappropriate or challenging behaviors. For me, my name is Tasneem, and I have a bachelor's degree in counseling and master's degree, and I've been doing this work with special needs for around 25 years. So what is ABA? One of the things that I like about my lectures and workshops, I don't like to be talking by myself. So put for me in the QA, tell me, what do you think ABA is, or what do you know about ABA? Just one sentence. Let's make this interactive, so I'm not just talking by myself. I would like to see you interacting. So take a minute or two and tell me, what is ABA? Okay, Mino says that applied behavior analysis is ABA, correct? ما في صوت? You cannot hear me? ولا, I think you have the problem. Can everybody hear me? I didn't even check. And someone tell me if you can hear me or not. Oh, yes, okay. So people can hear me. So I think you need to check your settings. Okay, good job معتصم. علم يهتم بدراسة السلوك البشري. Science of behavior, well done. Okay, Oneza or Oneza, break skills to small steps in ABA. Well done. Well done, Shiba, Faiz. Yes, ABA is something that we use and it happens in our life. Correct. When you take a speed ticket, that's ABA. Okay, very good. So ABA is applied, which means we focus on behaviors that you can see every day and at home, at school. It's not about theory, it's about behaviors that we see and about strategies that we can apply to change the behavior in these settings, in all the settings. And when we talk about behavioral, so we're gonna focus on behaviors that we can see, like it has a start and it has an end. So we don't talk or focus on emotions like he is sad, he is mad, he is angry, he's worried. We focus on behavior more. So when we say behavior, it means something you can see, you can observe, you can measure, and it has start and it has end. Crying, hitting, saying hi, okay? Not only, we don't have to focus only on bad behaviors. Everything is talking is a behavior, writing is a behavior, okay? Pointing is a behavior. So all of these, me moving my hand like this is a behavior. So you can observe, you can see, you can measure. So we're going to talk about this. This is important because we're going to have lots of scenarios and I'm going to ask you to answer some questions. So the first thing in any scenario, in anything, you ask yourself, what is the behavior in that scenario? Analytic, it means that we study the behavior. We see what happens before and what happens after. Okay, what's the reason why the behavior continue to happen? So that's what we mean with analytic. So we need to make sure that we focus on behaviors, and we need to remember that all behaviors have a purpose. When the person engages in any challenging behavior or good behavior, they do it for a reason. They want to get something. There is nothing happen for no reason. Okay? We cannot say he's mad for no reason. There is a reason. When he does this behavior, he is getting something in return. Okay? That's why we focus on what happens before and what happened after to try to study. We monitor the behavior for several days before we see a pattern. Okay? كل واضح؟ حدا بده أي translation بالعربي؟ يعني إحنا السلوك هو شيء يحدث نقدر نشوفه، له بداية وله نهاية، نقدر إن نقيسه. بدنا نحاول نعرف ليش السلوك بيصير، شو بيصير قبل وشو بيصير بعد، وبناء عليها بنحاول نعرف. applied يعني بنركز على السلوكيات المهمة، مهمة للأهل، مهمة للتصرف في المول، مهمة للمدرسة. فإحنا بنحاول نركز على استراتيجيات عملية تغير من هذا السلوك وتكون مهمة بالنسبة لهدول الأهل. تمام؟ So behavior should be observed, measured, and we can change it. Okay? We can increase, we can decrease. So all behaviors, the good ones and the challenging one, it has a purpose, it has a reason. So yesterday, one of my therapists told me about this kid who people were gathering for a party for one of the staff. And this child, he wanted to go to the party. As soon the door was open, he immediately flopped on the floor and hit his head to the floor. The purpose was to see the shock, the attention in people's eye. So now we know when he did this, no, you cannot say, oh, he did this for no reason. I don't know why he did. Just observe and watch why he is doing that. So he did it for a reason. He wanted the attention. So then we're going to teach the child another way to replace that behavior. And these are the things that we're going to talk about, okay? Is every behavior happen has a reason. There's a purpose. The child want to get something from that behavior. Exactly like you. You cook to eat. You go to work to get salary and you get money and then you can buy everything you want, okay? You take a shower because you want to smell nice, okay? So everything we do have a reason. We're not going to focus on the internal states like feelings and thoughts in this workshop. We're not going to focus on it because we cannot observe it. Okay? Now, what are the 4 functions of behavior? Who knows? Let's see who knows. You can write in the chat who will be the first one to give me the 4 functions. ما بتقدر. Okay, what is the first? Who is the first? Oh, sorry, my camera is off. Okay, the first one who answered the 4 function of behaviors is Faiz Ali. Good job, ya Faiz. Are you our shadow, Faiz? Sensory, attention, escape, and tangible. Well done. Which is summarized in the word seat. These are the 4 functions that we will focus on. Well done. I like the interaction in the chat. Okay. So when you look at the word seat, S is for sensory, which means self-stimulation. E for escape, which means the child wants to avoid something or end something. Can be activity, can be place, can be person that they don't be with, okay? But for the sensory, because it feels good. It's like when you play with your hair, or when the men play with their beard, or when you rock in your chair, it just feels good, okay? A for attention. The attention can be positive and can be negative. Even the mom shouting on her son, it can be attention, and the child repeat the same behavior again because he wants the attention, although she's screaming at him, but it's still counted as an attention. Okay, so attention by looking, by talking, by touching the student. Oh, every time he cries, mama carries him. The other day I had a girl who is 2 years. Every time she cries, the mom carry her. So it's attention, and it's physical attention also because she's being carried, right? So now she learned, when I cry, mama, carry me. We need to teach another way for the girl to say up or to raise her arms as a sign, right? So attention, which is a social response that depends on someone else, other people. Tangible, which is access to something that the child wants. It can be toy, it can be food, it can be activity, trampoline, go on a ride. Some kids learn that every time I cry, my mom and dad, they take me in a ride in the car. So they learn that every time I cry, they take me in a ride. So now he cries, so they take him in a car ride. So that's a tangible because it's an activity. Okay. Now, the most important thing for you to remember and learn, because this is something that I find many people don't understand, the behavior, the human's behavior is complex. It doesn't have to be only one function. That's why we have now the functional analysis. It's not the standard one like what we used to do. Now it's the ESCA, Google ESCA, which is the child might do a behavior to get 2 functions, maybe attention and iPad, or escape and attention, okay? Or sensory and attention, okay? So when he hit, okay, it's hitting, the therapist is upset, or the mom says, no, don't just do that, it hurts. And at the same time, he has a nice feeling that he wants here in his hand, okay? So human behavior is complex, can be more than one function, okay? So I think some people are raising their hand. If you have question, better to put it uh, in the chat. Okay. Let me see who's raising their hand. Let me try if I can open the mic and let you talk. But please talk about the topic, okay? Fathi, you can talk. You can unmute yourself. No? Okay. Armedi, also you can talk.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, I was actually trying to answer the
I can't hear you.
for functions of behavior and ends.
Okay.
So yeah, we have said it sits as in the fourth type. So I want to know the difference between, is it the same thing, access to tangible and tangible? Are they the same thing?
Yes, it's the same. Access mean getting something. You can say access to attention, access to tangible, access to sensory, access to having escape or ending an activity. Access, the word access is just getting something. It's the same.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. فتحي عندك سؤال? Do you have, or I know, I'm not sure if I made the, I gave you permission to talk, so you can do it if you want. Okay, so let's move on. Now, let's start with the sensory, the self-stimulation, okay? It just feels good, like flapping. Many kids with special needs, even us, we do sensory, and we call it stereotypic behavior because it feels good, okay? Even me holding this and doing that while I'm nervous, it feels good. It calm me down. It helped the child to get self-regulation, okay? Spinning, jumping in their seat, mouthing, putting things in their mouth. Sometimes they chew on their clothes or chew on a pencil, okay? Humming, and they like to hear themselves when they are humming, squinting and looking at the lights in a certain way or different textures, rubbing different textures. So the sensory means the child will do it because it feels good. And they will do it in case they are bored or in case they need stimulation or they need self-regulation because they are overwhelmed. Okay? They will, the key, if it's a sensory or not, that the child will do the behavior when they're alone by themselves. Doesn't require anyone else. When he's sitting alone, he will be doing that behavior. Okay? That's your hint, that's your clue that this behavior is maintained by self-stimulation or sensory. Okay. Parents or therapist strategies, what you can do is to provide sensory breaks, to provide sensory tools that gives the same stimulation, okay? You want to offer alternative. So the kids who keep rocking, okay? Yes. You are, some people ask me why they cannot unmute themselves. I did this in purpose because last time someone hacked my meeting and it was really bad. So if you want to talk, that's what like what I just did with Armaid or Armain, I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. You can just raise your hand and I will let you unmute yourself and talk. Okay, just to keep it control and avoid any hacking. Okay. So Strategies for the sensory is to give sensory breaks, is to give the child activities and things that replace. So the child who keep jumping, I teach him to ask for trampoline. The child who keep like flapping his hands, I can use a fan. I can use a pom-pom, which looks more appropriate that he is playing. Okay. Kids who keep humming because we need to listen to something. We found many of these kids when we give them headphones with music or Quran or a song that they like, they stop the humming because now they have the auditory stimulation. So you need to observe what is the sensory, what is the input, what is it happening? The kid who put things in his mouth like his clothes, we provide chewy. So you look where is the input and you try to replace it with something more appropriate, okay, for them to get the same sensation. And you need to teach them how to ask for these. Some kids like the squeeze, and we teach them to say squeeze or tickles, okay? Or when they like keep doing this, we teach them to ask for the swing, okay? So we need to provide alternative, something give the same sensation. Now, let's look at this video. Let me know just if you can hear the sound, okay?
Early signs of autism in toddlers. 1. Toe walking. 2. Hand flapping. 3. Finger flicking. 4. Hand leading. 5. Rocking. 6. Pacing.
Okay. For people who are joining us from school, especially North America, there is Q&A. Okay, if you go on your screen, there is a button called Q&A. If you click on it, you can put your questions there. Okay, any important questions, I will be talking about it, and you will know what's happening in the Q&A if it's important. Okay, sometimes people are just putting their answers when I ask for the answer. If you would like to ask a question or talk, you just raise your hand. Okay, I still have Fathi and Aramai are raising their hand. Please lower your hand unless you want to talk. Okay, so then I will take a break. I'll open and let you talk and tell me what you want to talk about or ask a question. Saida says you can't use the chat box. You just did. You wrote a message there, so it's you can use it. Okay. A question from one of the participants says that what if the child tends to touch their private part of self-stimulatory behavior? What strategies we can use? Now, it depends on the child's age, and I prefer that you take ABC data, see what's the antecedent, what the consequence, try to know the function. Does the child do this behavior when he's alone? Or he does it because the teacher say, no, don't do that, عيب. Or his mom says that, then it's attention. Maybe one time happened by coincidence and then he got attention. So you need to know the function, and based on the function, you put the intervention. And we're going to talk about so many strategies based on the function, how you can solve the behavior. Another question was, what is the duration that we need to let the child have access to the sensory so they reach the point of satiation اللي هو الإشباع اللي بيكون حسيا. Now, for this also, it depends on how long the child's engage in these behaviors. You want to reduce it gradually. So do work and then he gets a break. and slowly the work time increase, and the break time, maybe it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it stays the same. And slowly during work, you teach the child you're not allowed to engage in self-stimulation behaviors. But during your break, you can do that. I had one of the kids who do this the whole time. The whole time. We couldn't do any work with him. Slowly, we taught him that when it's work time, you need to have good hands. We start with 1 minute of good hands, one response, and then we take him to the playroom where he can do the behavior that he wants because it's sensory. It feels good, okay? Then slowly, from 1 minute, gradually, over months, we reach to a point that he worked for 45 minutes without doing the behavior. And the last 15 minutes, he takes a break in the playroom and he engaged in this behavior, the self-stimulation behavior. But you have to do it gradually. You have to do it slowly, okay? Yes, the video is paused. So the video is, just give me a second. So this video, it's short video. It shows you some of the behaviors, which is self-stimulation behaviors that children do, especially with autism, because it feels good. Okay?
Early signs of autism.
Now, the second function, which is escape. Escape, we all, even adults, we escape. When you call out sick because you don't feel like going to work, that's escape, right? So many kids engage in problem behaviors, tantrums, hitting, crying, because they want to escape a place or a person or an activity that they don't want, like crying because he doesn't want to take a shower, okay? Or flopping on the floor because he doesn't want to write the worksheet, okay? Or like they just shut down the moment that you tell them to do a task that they don't like to do. I had a child who used to engage in severe problem behavior when we do, and especially aggression, when we ask him to do vocal imitation. Because talking and vocal imitation is super hard for him. So he will hit us, the therapist will stop, and then he learned. Every time they do this program with me, they will stop, okay? Throwing materials, throwing the food because they don't want to eat, okay? So these behaviors happen because they want to escape or stop an activity that they don't like, that they don't want. So what strategies we do? First, we need to break the task in smaller. If you're a teacher at school and you give him 10 worksheets, start with 2. Slowly increase to 10, to 2, then 3, then 4, until you reach 10. Don't give 10 from the beginning, okay? Also, the first and then strategy is when you teach the child that, look, you do this worksheet, and then you're gonna get break, and during your break you can watch iPad, you can go to the playground. So you remind him with the reinforcer to increase the motivation to do the activity that they don't want to do. Now, if the child is engaging in tantrum, okay, in addition to everything we said, you need to continue with the demand. You have to, because if he hits you and you remove the demand, he will learn. I hit her, she removed the demand. Of course, safety comes first. If it's not safe, then it's not safe, then you have to remove the demand. But if it's safe, it's better to continue presenting work and remind with the reinforcer and showing the visual schedule. And you know that this is difficult, break it before the tantrum happen, because you know it's hard for Okay, so these are all always, when you put an intervention, it's a package of strategies. It's not one thing you can do and khalas, problem is gone. No, it's a package of things. It's a package of interventions, a group of strategies that you have to use together to work. Okay? Now, let's see this video. Okay, this is an example on escape behavior, okay, or behavior that's maintained by escape. Now, after you watch the video, I want you to put in the comment, I'm going to see who is the first, who will put what is the behavior and what is the function. I need 2 words from you. What's the behavior and what is the function?
The spoon goes in the garbage right here. Say, okay, Mom. Okay. Okay, look at Mom. I want you to go pick up that spoon because it goes in the garbage. Okay. Now listen to Mom. If you can't be nice, you will go sit down and time out. Are you ready to be nice? Okay, let's go sit down and time out. Okay. I want you to stay right here until Mom comes in. Hey Google, set a timer for 1 minute. Stop. Yay! Are you ready to be nice? Yeah. Yay, good. Say sorry, Mom. Good job. Give me a big hug. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see who's the first to answer correct. What is the behavior and what is the function? Okay, behavior. I want to see who's the first one. Okay. Okay, before I go to that to see who answers, someone said that severe autism, they will not understand first and then. I don't agree. If you teach them and you teach them right and slowly, they will understand the first and then 100%. In my 25 years of experience, I work with severe autistic kids, and they do, if you're consistent and everybody who works with the kid is consistent, they will know. If you do it right, so the moment that they do you start with one simple response, okay? When you say high five and you immediately give the reinforcer, they will learn. But you have to be consistent. You need to start simple, okay? And everybody should do the same. Then the child will learn, okay? A teenage girl is experiencing anxiety and shows aggressive behavior, especially towards her parents and siblings. Outside the home, no one understands her situation. She has ADHD, is very talkative, and displays oppositional behavior. She refused to listen to anything her parents say and is not willing to cooperate. Her parents are also becoming very stressed. What should be done in this situation? So since she can talk, and since she a teenage and she understands what she is doing, I would recommend a consultation with a BCBA, and then you go from there. In addition, maybe a psychologist, also consultation with a psychologist would help, because she's a teenager and some of the behaviors are normal at this age, okay? But it's all about also how they raised her, what she's used to, and all of that. ABA might be able to help, or it's the psychology that she needs psychology. Yes, people are asking about the recording. I'm recording, and inshallah, I will make it available. And by the end of the session, you will know where, okay? So you have to stay with me to know the information. See? Reinforcement. Okay. So the first one who answered about the video, correct. Some people answered wrong. Wala, when you write, I see, but the others don't see. So you're writing and I can see what you wrote. Okay, Miranda Fong is the first one who answered correct. Behavior is crying and flapping, okay? And the function is escape. Good job. Okay, so in this case, what did the mom do? She followed through. She followed through. She made sure that he will put the spoon in the garbage. Also, she put him in timeout until he calms down, and it looks like she did it before, and he's used to it. And then the moment that she put him there and she left, also he was quiet. So his crying can be also attention maintained, not just escape, right? Because the moment he sat alone on the stairs, he stopped crying. So that means that the crying can be also attention maintained, not just escape. Alia, you are writing in the right place. You already sent me, so I can see what you wrote. Okay.
The spoon goes in.
Now, the third one, which is attention. And in attention, it means the child engaging in the behavior to get attention. When the child says hi and you say hi back, saying hi is the behavior. Saying someone hi back to him, talking to him, smile to him is the attention that they want. Now, there are challenging behaviors that maintained by attention, like interrupting parents when they're talking, crying when the parents is on the phone, hitting their sibling, because when they hit their brother, mom leaves whatever she's doing in the kitchen, she comes, she yells at them, so that child will do that over and over, making loud noises, okay? For me, sometimes my daughter, we're driving and she start drumming, and that makes me crazy. So I yell at her and she find it like, okay, I got the attention that I want, although it was me yelling, but still she does that because she wants the attention. She wants to feel the attention. So even when you yell, when you scold, when you give the child a lecture why his behavior is wrong, that all is considered attention. It's actually negative attention, but it's still attention, and it will increase the problem behavior for many kids, okay? So what is the strategy we do in that case? We need to catch the child when he's doing good. We need to give the child attention when he does a good behavior, okay? Catch them doing good. That's very important. Quality time is very important, where you actually have spent 10 to 15 minutes, if you're a parent, 10 to 15 minutes with the child, having fun, give lots of attention so the child doesn't feel I need to misbehave to get attention. Teachers at school, many times, many schools I went to, I did so many observations. 99% of the teachers makes the same mistake. They don't pay attention for good behavior. They pay attention for bad behaviors. Muhammad, sit down. Muhammad, I told you many times, raise your hand before you answer. It's all attention. They kind of keep doing. But they don't say, look at Saeed. He's raising his hand before he answers. Well done, Saeed. And there's the butterfly effect. When you do that, you will see many kids will do the same good behavior, okay? And that's something that many teachers ignore, okay? Or look at Fatima. I love how you were sitting nicely. Look at Selma. Her handwriting is very nice, okay? Just giving attention for good behavior sometimes fix lots of problem behaviors, okay? In addition, if the child is engaging in challenging behavior because he wants attention, we do planned ignoring, okay? Anyone knows what are the 5 steps of planned ignoring? There are 5. Look at your senses. 5. Who can tell me the 5? It's not written, by the way, in the, I didn't put it here in the PowerPoint. Okay, nobody answered, so I don't want to waste time because already 45 minutes. So, no looking at the child. That's one of the planned ignoring. Yes, the ignoring has 5 steps to be successful. Of course, we do planned ignoring only if it's safe. You cannot ignore child going to the parking. Okay? So, no looking at the child, but supervising. No talking or commenting on the behavior. Okay? Your face should be neutral. Don't show that you are stressed or upset or frustrated. Don't touch the child. Don't hug. The other day, one therapist told me, oh, when he cries because I took the toy, I like pat him on his hand and give him hug to calm him down. Wrong. He will learn that I cry and I get attention. You need to teach him how to request the attention by saying, I want hug, or give you the picture of a hug, or give you a sign of a hug if he cannot talk. And the 5th one is you don't give the child what they want. So these are the 5. Don't look directly, but supervise. Don't talk or comment. Stay neutral. Don't show that you are stressed. Don't give the child what they want from the behavior, either if it's escape or it's tangible. Don't give it to them. Or if it's attention. And what's number 5? Who's focusing? Let's see. What's number 5? Good job. Aramid. Good job. You don't touch. You don't hug. You don't, do that when the child is engaging in problem behavior. Well done. Now, this video, if you look at the girl next to the mom, okay, she's wearing green. Now they're playing a game and they're taking turns and they're talking and she wants attention. Look what the mom did.
Good one. What do you think, Nick?
I don't know what the question was.
Would you
Have
rather
a scale. Name your.
It's not your turn, Grace. You have to wait.
would you rather name your child Stella or Brooklyn?
Probably Brooklyn.
Stella.
Bad too.
I think I would name my child
I choose Stella.
Stella. I'd name her Stella.
I'd name her Brooklyn because you could at least, at the very least, call her Brooke or Brookie.
Do you see that how she is hitting her? She wants a turn. She's hitting her because they told her to wait and it's not her turn. So she's engaging this problem behavior because she wants the attention. The good thing is that the mom continued.
Oh, yes, Joe. All right, Grace, it's your turn.
What you want to find me? Hey.
Go the other way.
I change my mind to hey. It says hey, and I'm on it.
All right, my turn. Would you rather go to Daniel Tiger's house or would you rather go to Elmo's house?
I'm Daniel Tiger. Elmo. Daniel Tiger.
All right, well, everyone can have a different opinion.
When we are stand the show. Wait, I will tell you. Would you rather we permission or hey?
Probably, yeah, sure.
I Santa shirt.
Okay, so the whole point of this video is sometimes kids want attention. They don't want to wait for their turn. They don't want to. That's why we always teach kids to we teach them how to wait. We start with some kids from 2 seconds waiting until we reach up to 10 minutes waiting, which takes long time. So to wait calmly, to not to be impulsive, to not to wait for others and respect others' turn, it takes training. But the whole point here is she was dying for her to get the attention. She was hitting her mom, interrupting. But then when it was her turn, they will give her the turn, okay?
Good one. What do you think, Nick?
The fourth one, which is tangible. In the tangible here, the child wants to get something. It can be toy, it can be food, it can be flopping in the supermarket because they want ice cream and the mom feels embarrassed, so she give her the ice cream, or because they want more time in the playground, or because they want more time on the TV, so they engage in challenging behavior, okay? So what we should do, we should not give the child what they want after engaging in a tantrum. We need to teach the child a different way of asking and requesting FCR or FCT, functional communication training. So this can be with pointing, it can be with pictures, it can be with a word, with a sentence based on the child's level, okay? Also using talking board because it teaches the child to work for a longer before they get what they want. And they will learn that first I earn all my tokens, then I get the break and I get what I want, okay? Let's see this one, an example on tangible.
Simon sees a toy that he has to have, and he throws a huge fit to try and get it. Now, he's allowed to play with this toy, but we don't want to give in to his fits.
You say please. Say more please. Do you want a car? We need a soft voice. And we can use a car. Or we need to use a nice soft voice. And we say please.
Please.
We love please. Simon can use a car. We love cars. We love Lightning McQueens.
See, it's very simple, very easy. When the child, the dad helped him to sign please, okay? And then he gave him the toy. But when he was crying, he didn't give it to him. With consistency, someone talked about consistency and said consistency is very important. This is very true. Belinda said that they should be consistent. Yes, because when you're consistent, the child will learn. If you're not consistent, they will not learn. They will be confused. If you every time do something different after their challenging behavior, they will be confused. But if you're consistent, they will learn. A question, if a child trying to get attention by throwing his toys and I ignore, and you don't say I ignore him, I ignore the behavior, because we don't ignore the children, we ignore the behavior. And when he stopped, which is a very good thing that you waited until he stopped. Today I had training with my team and I told them, when the child is upset or have a tantrum, he can't hear you. Receptive and expressive stopped. There's no communication, خلاص, okay? So here, Rosen said that she will wait until he stopped, and then she told him to clean up. He cleaned up and put everything in place, and then she gave him the toy. This is a very good strategy. The only thing you need to add is to teach him to ask for the toy. So everything you did well, and then you teach him how to ask for the toy based on his communication level, pointing, one word, picture, whatever he can. But good strategy that you did. Tamam?
Simon?
Okay. So now this is a chart for you. It's a quick reference for you to learn that If it's sensory, what is the child's goal? It feels good. It's self-regulation. How do you know? What's your clue? That the child will do it when he's alone. Nobody's there, nobody's watching. He's still doing the behavior. What strategy you can do, okay, to handle this kind of behavior with sensory function is sensory tools, sensory breaks, okay, redirect to appropriate sensory input. Go jump on the trampoline. If it's the function, if the function is escape, because the child's goal is to avoid something or end something, either difficult or they don't like or aversive, whatever, the clue is whenever you start the demand, whenever you give or start this activity, then the child start with the challenging behavior. If you take away or stop the challenging behavior, then the behavior stops. This is your clue that it's escape. What's the strategy? What should you do is to don't remove demand, continue with the demand as long as it's safe, break down the tasks, okay? Use first and then and visual schedules, and teach the child to ask for a break. So when he wants a break, he says break. You give him 2 minutes break, and then he comes back to the work, okay? If the function is attention, then you need to, you know, because the child will do something and look at you. He wants your reaction. He's wait for your attention and interaction. That's the goal of the behavior. The clue is when people are around, he does the behavior. When he's alone, he doesn't do it, okay? Or he doesn't do it as much. So you know it's attention, right? And then what is the strategy you should do? You should give attention for good behaviors, planned ignoring, like we mentioned, give scheduled quality time to give the child lots of attention for free, okay? So he is less likely to do problem behavior to get the attention because he's satiated. عنده حالة من الإشباع من الاتtention. تمام؟ Teach the child to ask for attention appropriately, okay? So for the kid, I told you about that when he saw a group of people, he flopped and hit his head, so everybody react. Everybody ignored the behavior, and we will teach the child whenever he sees group people to go, and we will do it in purpose, teach him to go, see the people, and immediately says hi. And then everybody will give him attention and say hi. So that's why we teach him that if you say hi, people will give you attention. But if you flop and hit your head, no one will give you attention. Then when we do this, then he will learn. If the function is tangible, he wants something, activity, food, toy, iPad, TV, playground, whatever. The clue is when you take away the thing, the behavior starts. When you give it back to him, then the behavior stops, okay? So what strategy we need to do is don't give in. If you say iPad is over and he starts screaming, if you take away the then you should not give it back when the child is crying or engaging in problem behavior. You can use tokens. You can teach the child to ask for more time. And there's one important strategy, which we will talk about later also, is give a warning before you end the activity. I tell always people when I teach, imagine yourself watching a football game for men who likes football, or for women who are watching a TV show and they are enjoying, they're happy, and then suddenly someone come and tell you it's over and turn off the TV. How would you feel? Kids with autism will feel the same. You shouldn't end activity suddenly without warning. You can say, in 1 minute, we'll go back to the classroom. In 1 minute, playground is all done. In 1 minute, we're gonna go from cafeteria back to the class, or we will leave the mall. Also, some kids, because they don't understand the 1 minute, you say the 1 minute, but then after a while you can count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My turn, and then you take away the toy. I saw severe kids learn that the moment I start counting, they start giving me the toy by themselves. They learn, and they're giving it to me by choice. But before, they used to engage in problem behavior. Okay? Now, the ABC model is antecedent, behavior, consequence. Behavior, as we said, it's something that the student or the child does, or the individual does. And this behavior, you can see, you can measure, it has a start and it has an end. You can count, you can write the duration for that behavior. Okay? Antecedent is what happened before the behavior immediately. The teacher said, write in your worksheets, or the teacher said, read. Okay? The mom said, TV is all done. Okay? We are leaving the mall, or we're leaving the park. Okay? So what happened before the behavior? That's the antecedent. Consequence is what happened right after. The parent gave 5 more minutes because the girl is crying. Or the teacher said, you know what? You don't want to read? Okay, don't read. So now he learned, every time I scream, I get away with reading, and I don't have to read. Okay? So you describe facts, not what you think, not what you believe. You just describe facts, what happened before and what happened after. You do this for a behavior that you want to study and analyze. And this is very easy. Parents doing that, shadow teachers, everybody can do this. It's very easy. You just need a paper and you write. I'll show you now an example. You need to observe this for 5, 7 days, and then you will notice the pattern. And based on the pattern, you will know what is the function. Okay? So this is an example. Jack is 6 years old. He throws the toy when it's time to turn off the TV. What's the antecedent? Mom said, TV is over. And Jack is watching his show. Okay? There was no warning. The mom didn't say in 5 minutes or in 10 seconds we'll turn off the TV. So Jack, or Jake in this case, he threw the toy across the room. And maybe he threw the toy, did that 4 to 5 times per week. Now, what happened after, in that case, the parent, they said, okay, you can take just 5 minutes. So now the child learned. I throw, Mama give me 5 more minutes. It worked. So in this case, it be tangible, and it might be some escape in it because there's a demand to turn off and he didn't turn it off. Okay? So both can be escape and tangible, and he gets more time for TV. Okay? So you always have to tell the child. Now, if one day you tell the child turn off and they respond and there's no problem behavior, you have to praise that and say, good job. You listened. Well done. I'm proud of you. Okay, so this is example on an ABC data sheet. You write the date and the time, the setting, where was it? Either at school, in playground, in classroom, in music, or if it's at home, in kitchen, in living room. What was the antecedent? What happened before? What was the behavior? And what was the consequence? I like to add the column after that to say, what is the function? What do you think is the function? Okay, for every incident. And then you will see the pattern. Okay, so you just add a column here and say, what's the function? Okay. Now, in this activity now, I hope you have a paper and pen and paper. Okay. And we I'm gonna show you this video, okay? And you will tell me what is the antecedent, what is the behavior, and what is the consequence, okay?
You can pick up that whole thing now. Josh, all I was asking you to do was pick up those 3 parts. All I asked you to do is pick up those 3 parts, and so now you can pick up the...
Okay, so in this case, the mom turned off the TV, okay? And he engaged with throwing, screaming. What's one mistake the mom is doing right now? Now, we talked about this. Faiz, good job. The antecedent, she turned off the TV. Behavior, he's throwing tantrum and screaming. Okay, she didn't give a, we don't know if she gave a warning or not. But now, right now, when I post, she's doing something wrong. Excellent, Rosen. Well done. She's talking to him during tantrum. He cannot hear. There is no, yes, ممتاز يا حسان. إعطاء الأوامر أثناء نوبة الغضب. There's no expressive or receptive language during tantrum. Okay? She is not ignoring. Good job, Samar. Yes, she's talking, commenting. She needs to wait for him to be a little bit calm. Right? Because he's engaging in a tantrum.
You can pick up the whole thing now. You don't get to watch TV. No. Josh, stop. Yeah, because
Oh, yes, I do! Yes, I do!
No, you don't. Stop.
Yes, I do!
Stop. Josh,
I won't shut up!
I didn't tell you to shut up.
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't. I asked you to stop. I asked you to stop. I never told you to shut up. All I asked you to do was pick up those 3 little pieces. Yes, you do. It doesn't seem like I get... No, it doesn't seem like I get respect. I can be a big jerk. Yes, I can. But it doesn't seem like I get respect from you. Because what you just did, I don't think you get to watch TV.
Yes, I do! My dad lets me watch TV!
Yeah, and you're not at your dad's house.
Shut up!
Yeah, and you yell at me for telling you to shut up? So you tell me to shut up. I didn't even tell you to shut up and you yelled at me.
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't. I told you to stop.
No, why would you shut up?
Okay. So you see what's the mistake? What's the problem with this approach? I tell moms always, if you cannot ignore and stay calm, leave the room. As long as the child is safe, just leave the room. Okay? So in this case, antecedent, she turned off the TV. Then he's screaming, he is shouting, he's throwing things, right? What is the consequence? What is he getting? He didn't get the TV back, but he's getting something. Good job, Faiz. Yes, he's getting attention. She's talking to him, she's arguing with him. Okay, all of that is attention. So that means he's gonna do that again because also she is upset. And sometimes kids enjoy when they make their parents upset. Not because they're mean, because parents are authority, teachers are authority. Sometimes kids, the child will make you or the student make you upset because it's kind of attention. and they feel powerful. So it's attention when they make you upset. So they will do that because of that, okay? Because they're getting attention from their behavior. Okay. Sheba, we don't use anxiety. We don't use the word overwhelmed. Okay. ممتاز يا حسان، عم بحصل اهتمام attention. Well done. If someone asks if someone is very severe autism and they just throw things and they laugh and throw, this is, I think it's a sensory behavior. Okay. So one of these kids اللي بيعملوا هيك, where we teach them that they can ask to go for the ball pit and they can throw toys, the balls, and it's safe and it's functional to do that. So we replace the behavior with something else. Okay. Good job, Aramid. Yes, you will stay calm. Let him do the tantrum. When he's done, you talk to him. Okay. So I want you to see this video because I love this video. It talks about sensory behavior and what people with special needs say about sensory behaviors or stereotypic behaviors.
A stim is a self-stimulatory behaviour, so any action or movement that we do in order to explore one of our senses.
A repetitive action or movement or sound, it can be many different sorts of things, but it's generally doing something repetitively.
Some people flap their hands, some people rock, some people sway side to side, some people walk on their tiptoes.
I may shake my hands, or I may keep tapping my feet on the ground.
This is some solid perfume that I sniff whenever I feel like sniffing something because it's just very nice. This is a stim pen with glitter inside. This is a kind of squishy toy that fits my palm perfectly.
Stimming is important because it helps me regulate myself.
We need to stim in order to find a sense of balance and peace and relief. The kinds of stimming that are more automatic feel as normal to us as breathing. It's sad that some people think of it as weird or obsessive. They think of stimming as like repetitive, stereotypical behaviour. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a medium of expression.
It's very important to not discourage all stimming because it can take away somebody's coping mechanisms.
Okay, so what did you learn from this video? I'm just gonna read one or two responses. Good job. Yeah, معتصم. معتصم, stimming behavior is important. It helps people regulate. Yes, Asna. Okay. Good job, Mino. Rosen. Okay. So we all stim, we all do stimming, okay? Before we work on stereotypic behavior, by the way, stereotypic behavior and reducing the stereotypic behavior is the last thing I would work on. I will always prioritize communication, learning, academics. If the stimming is not harmful, if we can teach the child where to stim and when to stim, it's better than trying to remove stimming at all. This is how they feel. It's help them regulate. By the way, people who smoke is stimming, okay? People who play games on their phone, I do that. I like to play Candy Crush, okay? It helps me relax. Okay, it's a repetitive behavior that doesn't serve something that is, functional, but it feels good. It doesn't have that benefit that is clear, but it feels good. We all do it. So I just need to teach the child when and how and how much to STEM. You don't have to remove it completely. And most of the time, it's not a priority to work on, especially that they feel this way about it. Okay? Now we're going to practice. So we have scenarios. I want you to read each scenario. Okay? And for scenario A, I want you to write what is the behavior, the antecedent, the consequence, and the function. So write scenario A, scenario B, write it on your notebook or on your paper. Okay, let's take 2 minutes to answer these 4 scenarios. And then we'll check if you did answer correct or no. I have one of my staff next to me. Once you're done, tell me.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Almost done.
So I have someone to tell me how long it's gonna take. عندك
مشكلة
الإنترنت. إيش سيناريو؟ أنت خلصت؟
خلصت.
Okay. So Abdulrahman is in scenario D. 1 minute and we'll move on. Okay. So now let's go for each one. Okay. So the first scenario here was Mia, okay, who's 4 years old. She screams every time her mom pick up her phone to make a phone call. She stops screaming immediately when her mom put the phone down and looks at her. Some of you answered in the chat box, like me say. So the antecedent is the one having a call. The behavior is screaming. The consequence was what? Let me see. I want to see if someone answered it correctly. When the consequence is that the mom put down the phone. So what is the function of A? Scenario A, mashallah, everybody is participating. Well done. I have many of you participating. Very, very good. Okay, so let me pick someone. Is attention. Good job, Rawan. So the function is attention. Well done. But you didn't write antecedent, behavior, and consequence, but the function is correct. Let's go to B. Marcos, he flaps his hand, he hums during quiet time, okay? And at school. He does this even when teacher is not watching. Okay, so what is the antecedent? I want to see someone if he wrote the antecedent. The function is, of course, sensory, right? So the antecedent would be do it like it's quiet when they're doing nothing, okay? Anytime, because it says here during quiet reading time. So the antecedent is reading time. That's the antecedent. The behavior is what? Humming and flapping hands. The consequence is what? What's the consequences? It doesn't tell us, right? It doesn't tell us what's the consequence in this case. Like it didn't tell us if the teacher says stop or he got a toy, or there is no clear consonants, but consequence. The clear consequence that we know is that it feels good, right? He feels good inside. So it's sensory. Go to scenario B. Now you need to correct yourself, okay? You check your answers. Okay, scenario C, Sophia, age 5, she cries and drops to the floor every time her dad say it's time to leave the park, right? She stops when dad agrees to 10 more minutes, okay? Now, many of you got, let me see. So C is what? C, it's not escape. No. B is sensory. A is attention. What is C? Let me see. نوف. لا يا نوف. It's not escape. Rima, I like your answer, yeah, Rima, about scenario B. Good job. Yes, number C is access to tangible because he got more. But what is the antecedent? Okay, here we have Rima. Antecedent, that says it's time to leave the park. Behavior, crying, dropping to the floor. Consequence, dad agrees to 10 more minutes to play. Okay. And the demand to leave the park is removed. Well done, Yarima. Function can be escaping for the demand. Yes. And what else? What else? Missing. C, missing. Tangible. Okay. So C is also, so she escaped the demand of leaving the park, and she got tangible because she got 10 more minutes to play, right? So it can be both. Let's go now to scenario D. We have Liam, 8 years. He hit his sister and take her chips. Okay, I'm in a training. Okay, so she does that at lunchtime every day when he finished. So he finished his food, and then he hits his sister, and he takes away the her food. Correct? So I have here Rima said he finished his own snack. He hits, that's the antecedent. Behavior, hit and take the chips. He gets the food. Function is tangible. Good job, Rima. Rima. This is how your name is written. Okay. Okay, Shahinda, you answered in the notebook. I wish your answers were correct. It's okay. Right. Let's continue. Let's move on. Now, this is strategies, practical strategies, very important for you to learn to manage every function of these behaviors. شو يعني? You did the ABC. You did the observation for 5 to 7 days. Now you have a doubt and you think, or you have a hypothesis, فرضية, what is the function? Now I'm going to give you practical, proactive, okay? Nermeen, you are in the chat. There is no code, my dear. You're just writing in the chat, but nobody can see the chat except me. Okay? So the proactive measures and how to change the antecedent to prevent problem behavior. What are things you can do? These are practical strategies you can use at school, at home, with the kids. Visual schedule. The child should know his schedule. Okay? Don't be that I am the future, I am the therapist, I should, the child should listen to me and do whatever I want. No, he has, the child, the right to know the schedule. What activities he will do when he is going to go home. To use the first and then strategy, as I mentioned before, you can start with small response, immediate reinforcement, then slowly 2 responses, then the reinforcer, then 3, and so, okay? Sometimes some kids, we reach to a point where you're gonna work for 10 minutes and we put the timer, and then you can take a break. And slowly until we reach to a point that they work for 45 minutes and then they can take a break. Everything you do it slowly. So also that is very important. Choice board. Give kids option. We all love option. We all enjoy having options in life, right? They also enjoy option in life. So you need to give them options. Sometimes we give option also with the activity. You want to do the writing first or the reading? You want to do math or Arabic? Okay. So you need to give the kids options. Okay. And options for the reinforcers, what they want. Don't choose for them. Don't think that you know. Even myself, I choose a toy for my daughter and I found out she didn't like it. And I thought that I know her very well. So kids' mind preference change. So make sure that you give them choices for the reinforcers, choices for the activities, which one you want to do first. Sometimes kids, after they learn the schedule, we tell them, here's the schedule, what you want to do first. Okay? They put the order. Why not? That will make them less likely to escape. less likely to engage in challenging behaviors to escape. Also, transition warning. Tell them in 1 minute, in 10 seconds, in 20 seconds, 5, 4, 3, before you end an activity. Give sensory breaks, especially for kids who get overwhelmed a lot. They need a walk, they need to move, they need to go to the sensory room. Now, most schools have sensory room. And give it not after a problem behavior, before problem behavior. You want to prevent problem behavior from happening. That's why we are using these tools. Attention. Give the child attention for good behavior. Have fun with the child. So either if you're a parent or if you are a teacher, have fun. Give them attention when they do something good. Schedule a time. Teach them how to ask for attention. Okay? Now, reactive strategies. What if the problem behavior happened? Okay? And the problem behavior, it's happening because of sensory function. So you're gonna, there is do and there is don't. Things you can do and things you shouldn't do. Okay? So you can redirect to appropriate sensory items. Okay? Give them like fidget, but let them ask. Okay? The child's putting things in his mouth, make sure he's calm, and then you give him a chewy or let him point to the chewy. Okay? But don't punish the stimming. Okay? Don't force the child to stop. And don't ignore completely without doing anything. If the function is escape, because they want to escape a task, reduce the task difficulty slowly. Okay? Use visual timers. Praise the attempt to do the work. Follow through. Remind the child with the reinforcer. And use planned ignorance. But don't remove the task immediately and entirely when the child engages in problem behavior, because they will learn. I hit him, he removed the math. I cry, then I don't have to do work. Okay? Don't just give up. Okay? And also, there's no need to add more and more demands. You can stay on the same level or a little bit less, because you don't want to escalate the problem behavior. For attention, if the function is attention and the child is engaging in problem behavior because he wants attention, then you use planned ignoring. Only when everybody is safe. Okay? You immediately praise good behavior, or when the child stops crying, or when he is calm. Okay? Again, schedule quality time with the child, have fun with the child. But if the child is engaging in problem behavior because he wants attention, don't yell at the child. Don't tell him to stop. He's going to do it more. Okay? If the child is engaging in problem behavior because he wants something, activity, a place, a toy, a food, wait until the child is calm. And once the child is calm, you teach him to request what he wants in an appropriate way. Using tokens is always helpful. Making sure that you are calm, you're ignoring the problem behavior. And if the child is engaging in problem behavior because he wants something, don't give it to him while he is engaging in tantrum. Never. Because the problem behavior will continue. Don't negotiate and talk and argue during meltdown. Okay, just make sure the child is safe and wait for him to be calm. Okay, so this is like a summary of function, what a problem behavior could be, and what a replacement behavior you should teach. So we talked about proactive, how to prevent. We talked about reactive, if it happened, what you should do. Now we're going to talk about, you always have to teach the child a replacement behavior. You have to always teach the child a way to request what he wants, so he doesn't engage in problem behavior. So if it's sensory and the child is screaming loudly, you can teach the child to ask for a break, or to go, or to walk. Okay? If he's throwing because he wants to escape, you teach the child to say, help me, or all done, or no thank you. or stop. Okay? If the child doing for hitting his sibling because he wants attention, then you teach the child, okay, to hold his mom's arm, to say, excuse me, to say, can you talk to me? Can you play with me? Okay? If he's crying because he wants something, then I teach him to ask, either with pointing, with a card, a textbook, or with words, or even sentences. And whenever you teach a child a new skill, a new behavior, you have to reinforce a lot, because you meant to make that behavior, that new behavior, stronger. Okay? So this is your plan. This is a summary, what you should do. Okay? I want you to try to practice when you're working with the kids. Pick one behavior, take ABC data, try to know what is the function, choose a proactive strategy and reactive strategy, and a replacement behavior. Okay? Practice. The best way for you to learn is to practice doing these things. Now we're done. I'm going to give you the quiz. Okay? There is a quiz. It's only 10 questions. So you can, this is the QR code for the quiz. Okay. Now I want to see if I can send, the link in case you don't have, if you're watching on your iPad or on your phone. I want to try to send you the link for the quiz. This is a simple quiz. It's just to check if you understood everything. If anyone knows how can I share in webinars, let me know. This is my first time. Hina Marvi, you want to talk? Go ahead.
Miss, the code is not showing.
The QR code?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't see.
because I'm trying to send it to you.
Okay.
I don't know
I'll
if
wait.
I can. Show caption.
Thank you.
I cannot give you a link. I'm sure I
Mm.
can somewhere, but I'm not sure how, to be honest. اعملي والله Google.
Thank you.
I participated in webinar before, so until I found out, let me share the QR code again. Okay, here's the QR code. خلاص اوكي بس شوفي لي جوجل how can I share a link in the webinar. ما هو شكرا معتصم بس they cannot see they cannot see the Q&A. صح؟
بعمل سيرش.
Hmm?
بعمل سيرش. أنا شايف
Once you answer the quiz لما تخلصوا I will receive your answers and I will know who passed, who didn't pass. You will also get your you also will get copy invite link. No.
You do your
ما
لا ما فيش. بعمل عليك عشان
اشتغل करो अभी मैं और
Hmm?
يبقى بدي اكتب في الشات وصار لكم.
تعمل لي جوجل to send the link in the webinar.
ده زوم صح؟
Zoom webinar. I'm sure there is a way because once you finish, you will get your score. If you got 8 out of 10 or more, then good job. It means you've been paying attention and learning. Good job, Asma. 10 out of 10.
quite
لو بيصير من الناس
لا هذا أنسر لهون كل واحد.
كل واحد في السبت ولا
لا استنى شوي. Attendees can submit only in anonymous if you answer questions only or questions. The question is the QR code. Guys, how much you got? عرفوا يجاوبوا؟
بيجي كوز.
They're answering?
Yeah, the answer. One of the shadow got 9 of 10.
عشان
ما كانش بيزودوهم المايك ولا الكاميرا كذا حد قال لي مش ده المايك ولا الكاميرا
ما أنا عاملة عاملة هيك عشان ما حدش يعمل لي هاكينج. last time we had a hack.
عشان كده عشان هو بريك.
Okay, many people got 10 out of 10. Well done. Okay, so now I just need a favor from you. I want you to, okay, these are the answers. Okay, so ABC, antecedent behavior consequence, function, when the child is rocking is sensory, scolding at a child, it would be attention, true, cries every time homework start, that will be escape, okay? Emma grabbed her brother's cookie and eat it, that's tangible, he got the cookie. What is the best first step when you notice a pattern of behavior at home? You need to collect ABC data. Which proactive strategy help you prepare for a transition is to give the 5-minute warning or 2-minute warning. A single behavior can serve more than function, true. Replacement behavior is a behavior that replace the problem behavior and have the same function, gives the same function of problem behavior. So if he wants attention, instead of crying, we teach him to request for attention, to say, excuse me, I want help, give me a hug, play with me. Your child has a tantrum to get candy at the store, and you decide to give the candy to stop the crying. What you're accidentally teaching, that every tantrum he can get a candy, okay? So these are the questions we have. These are some of the resources for you to learn more about ABA, okay? Like books for parents, websites, applications, YouTube channels, okay? And you are the best, in summary, you're the best advocate, either if you are a shadow teacher or a teacher or a therapist or a counselor or a parent. So you need to make sure you understand the behaviors. You know, what's the purpose? What does the child want? And based on that, you put the intervention. Based on that, you teach the child a way to ask appropriately for this. Ignore and don't reinforce problem behavior, okay? Teacher replacement behavior is very important. Ignoring alone doesn't work, okay? So these are very important. Now, any questions? Okay, wait. This is a survey. Can you please answer the survey for me? You answer the survey and your reinforcer will be to know my YouTube channel, that I will put this training, this lecture, I will put it on the YouTube, and I will also share with you my Instagram. So if you want that, please answer the survey. I'll give you 2 minutes. It's very short. Okay, while you are answering the survey, some people want to talk. They raise their hand. Let's see. I have Hiba Sharif. Okay, go ahead. While we're talking, please answer the survey. بعتلك so you can talk. You just have to unmute yourself. Okay, I also have Amna and Mary. You all have permission to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, thank you so please, today, this is my first time of joining.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I've really got a lot. So I don't know if anything that you have to do, can you send it through the WhatsApp for us to get, or a link so that we can follow up everything what you have said, especially the video on what you have been teaching about.
Okay. You're one of our shadow teachers?
Yeah, I've just new. This is my first day to log
Okay.
in.
Okay,
Yes.
welcome to the group. Welcome to the team. So Minnie will share in the WhatsApp group. I'm sure she will add it to the WhatsApp group. She will share a quiz for you to check if you learned very well and the short survey. Also, she will also share with you my YouTube channel and the Instagram. Did everybody answer the survey? Let me see. I can't tell how many I have. Let's see. So the goal of the survey is to know your feedback because we always have a room for improvement and to know if there are other topics you like to learn about ABA. So I can arrange more lectures like this. I'm very happy with the attendance today, mashallah. We reached 112. That's really good number of people who wants to learn. Until now, I have only 27 who completed the survey. ليش? Out of 100, not even 50%. Okay, so can you please answer the survey? We have 8 more minutes and then I will end this webinar. So please answer the survey and I will share with you my Instagram and my YouTube. This recording, I will put it on my YouTube channel. I have lots of lectures on the YouTube channel but in Arabic. And I'm doing it, to be honest, in Arabic because resources in Arabic are very little. You will find lots of resources in English. Okay, so this is the QR code for the survey. It will be, someone asked if I can send the recording by email. It will be too large. Send it by email. It's like 2 hours. Okay, so thank you for everybody who answered. Let me see how many answered so far. Lisa 27. Only 27? ليش 100. You were 100. Okay. I like to read your comments when you answer. And I receive sometimes very valuable feedback from you guys. Okay, 39. Okay, good. Increasing. طيب, so take a screenshot for the survey if you want to finish it later, okay? Now, this is my Instagram page. Also, it has some videos and it has some lectures will be more on the YouTube, okay? And this is the YouTube channel. I will put this lecture on there so you can listen to it again. Thank you, Hannah. Please fill the survey. This is the QR code for my YouTube channel. Mayar, thank you for attending. Okay, so 4 minutes left. If you have any questions, you can write it down. You can raise your arm before we close this lecture. Thank you for attending. I hope that you learned something new, okay? And inshallah, we'll see you again for next lectures. I will check what things you wanted to learn more about. Inshallah, we'll do something soon. Estella, you can talk if you want, and Alia, Nagam, or I don't know how to say your name. No.
Yes, ma'am. I was just asking for the link for the quiz.
The quiz, it's a QR code. This is the QR code for the quiz. This one.
Okay.
Just take a
Thank you.
screenshot and then you can open it later if you the phone watching and
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. This is the quiz. Anyone else? Hiba, you can talk. Alia also, you can talk.
Hello.
Hi, Miss. Okay,
Yes,
I'm done my exam.
okay, Hiba?
I am done the exam. Yeah, done exam. Okay.
You're done with the exam?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. How much you got?
Thank you. 8.
Good. 8 is good. Below
Yes.
8 is not good.
Yeah.
Did you fill the survey, Hiba?
Huh?
Did you answer the survey?
Survey?
Yeah, this is the survey. Can you answer the survey for me, please? Your
Okay.
feedback
Okay.
on the lecture.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Alia?
Yes, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Firstly, I'm really happy to join your webinar. It was the first time that I joined, and I did take up the test as well, and I scored 10 on 10. The concepts you explained, they were very beautifully explained. I raised my hand because first I could not get the access to write any comments or my answers. I don't know if there is any glitch with my end, from my end, and I am not getting the link to survey as well. If you could share.
Okay, so it's a QR code. Are you attending from your phone?
Yeah, I'm attending from my phone.
Okay, so now you see the QR code. This is for the survey. You can take a screenshot.
No, I don't see anything on the screen except for your face. I can only see you. I am not Like I did see the QR for the test, so I was wondering why the QR is not showing on the screen for the survey.
I don't know. Let me share again.
Yeah, please.
Hold on. So this is my PowerPoint. Can you see it now?
Not really.
So move on the phone. Maybe you're putting on the participant instead of the lecture. Sometimes you have to move what you're watching.
Oh, I have to put participant?
No,
Or
don't
do
put
I
on the
put-
participant. Put on the
What?
PowerPoint
PowerPoint.
shared screen. It's something on your phone because everybody can see my
Yeah, that's what I saw that so many people are filling up, so I was just wondering what if it's happening from my end. Or if at all did you put the link on the chat
I didn't.
box?
I cannot put the link because this is the problem with webinars.
All right.
I cannot share a link. I have to do it on QR code. Or I just didn't learn how to share. I need to learn how to share a link.
Okay.
Because
Alright.
even in
Alright, I'm just
Q&A, I cannot put anything for me in the Q&A.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Okay, I think
so
I'll
just take a screenshot of the QR code, and that will take you. This is the short survey, and this is the quiz. So now this is the quiz. It says quiz time to measure your knowledge.
yes. Now it says
See it now?
interesting.
So this
Yes,
is
it
the
does.
quiz, and this is the short survey.
Yes, I
Shot.
get it now. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And then this is the Instagram, but usually it's in Arabic. I'm sorry. And this is the YouTube where I'm gonna put this lecture on. Okay. Thank you everybody
Yes,
for
thank you.
attending. I hope you learned. Okay. Well, inshallah, we'll see you again in next lectures. Thank you. Bye-bye.